this is Jesse Krim, and I am applying for the Apprentice Level 3 role at LinkedIn, which deals with mobile UI and mobile apps and user interfaces. And I wanted to quickly walk you through my meal category and recipes app. So here, as you could tell, using React Native, there the touch and feel of the app is native to each platform. For instance, on iOS, using the platform API versus Android, and looking at the header title, even along with the drawer and the drawer icon at the top, and also the bottom navigator tab on uh, on either the iOS and the Android. So as you could tell, just quick overview. Right now we have no favorites. So let's go back to meals, and I'm just going to use iOS because it's a little quicker. So if we click on quick and easy, of course you got the quick and easy header title at the top, and here's some quick and easy meals. So let's go with the salad with smoked salmon. That's always a favorite, and we'll toggle it to a favorite. And here, as you could tell, it only takes 15 minutes. It's simple, it's luxurious. Here's some ingredients and steps. And of course, here we see it as a favorite, which we could click on it and mark and see it's marked as a favorite. Of course, if I unmark it, it will be gone from our favorites. So we can click back out of here. Of course, we enter back at the precise place that the stack is at in the app, and that's dealing with the React navigation here. So let's go into French, add French, and as you can see, 45 minutes. We're getting into the yellow with time. Let's see what takes a long time. Exotic. Here we go. We got this orange mousse. So a lot of ingredients, a lot of steps. We'll add it as a favorite. Here we have both of them as our favorites. And I think that's basically the app, except almost forgot about filters. We can filter things. So if something is gluten-free, lactose-free, and we save this, and this save was only just a feature to play around with the icons at the in on our screens and the navigation options. A little extraneous feature, not necessary, and also to play around with the alert. Um, Obviously, not the best UI. I would probably get rid of this, and you wouldn't really need a button there. It would kind of just keep the state there, and I'll show you how I'm keeping the state. But then, okay, so what did we do? We went to gluten-free. So for hamburger, which is not gluten-free, uh, the meal no longer shows up. And I'll show you what it looks like if we turn gluten-free off. Save that, meals, and there it is. Of course, we'll add that there. And here we have our favorites. So going back into our code, we have a couple different screens, starting off with the category screen, where we are returning a custom component, a category grid title, passing some props to the category grid title. When we're also returning a flat we're also returning a flat list here with each of our grid items that we are rendering um, with two columns, and passing navigation options with our header left being the menu, using the header buttons component from React Navigation header buttons. And all this data is just dummy data that we've brought in here. Not important. So next into category meals, we are returning the meal list, where we're passing in list data of displayed meals. And if there are no meals, then we're going to display that you've probably set your filters to filter out the meal. So going into meal list, you can see we're passing meal list a lot of different props, And specifically on selected meal is a really important one. So if we go into the meal item on touch, on press, I'm sorry, we're creating the on selected meal function, which here we're routing or routing through props.navigation.navigate, which we're passing to meal item. We are navigating to the meal details screen in our stack navigator. And we're also passing params here, which is a little bit more of an advanced thing to do. Took me a little while to figure out how to do that so that it rendered it pretty instantaneously. So if we go into meal detail, you'll see what I mean. So here we're getting the params here in our meal ID, and then we're using that selected meal, and then we are using this little neat trick with use effect, where we are setting the params as, is favorite or toggle favorite, the state of the icon for favorites, and we are passing that down to our navigation options, where we are getting the param and then returning a different star or the outline of the star based on if it's a favorite. And also we are getting the meal title right away when we enter the meal details screen through this little get param trick. We are changing the color depending on the duration of the length of the meal. We're mapping through each ingredient here and just rendering a list item, same with the steps. So let's see our list item component. Yep, so list item. Okay, anyway, then we have our actions and reducers here. So we are setting the filters. Here we are keeping the state. I just thought this was a pretty simple way to manage state for this app because it's kind of a simple app. What else can I show you? We're toggling the favorites, and if you take it off the favorite, of course we're just splicing it at that index of the of the uh, of the favorites. And that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, to go through this app with me. Of course, we are using Redux for the store. We only have one reducer in this case, so we don't really need to use combined reducers, but added that little note just to remind myself. And of course, we're fetching fonts and using fonts, custom fonts throughout the application. And that's about it. Thank you so much for your time.